But let's move on to a stock that's actually the big gainer today, Central Bank of India. There was a huge jump in the profitability on account of the provisions coming down a whole lot. R.K. Goyal, the Executive Director of Central Bank of India, joins us on the phone line from Hyderabad. Mr. Goyal, thank you for taking the time out for us. If you can just explain to us what the run rate of provisions could be going ahead. This time around, you saw a 34% drop in provisions to 645 crores. But what do you think you could achieve as far as provisions in Q2, Q3?
Well, actually, if I might add to that, Mr. Goyal, also your NPLs, because I guess your provisions will depend on your NPL. Will your NPL remain flat at that 11,000 crores that you have reported? You won't add any more?
See, Lata, if you see our NPL is right from quarter 2 2014-15 coming down quarter over quarter. And this quarter, even though it has come down by around 50-51 crores, however, there are few more assets which are likely to be upgraded in the current quarter, that is Q2 2015.
Okay.
Hopefully, Q2 we will close around 11,000 or minus 11,000.
Okay.
As regards provisions, definitely with the NPAs coming under control and with the recoveries and upgradation of even few of the doubtful assets, the provision requirement is coming down.
Okay, can you just repeat your upgradation figure? What is the target for the current quarter?
Already this quarter, the Q1, the upgradation is around 983. Of course, I am not in office today.
Oh, fair enough.
Approximately it is 983 crores.
Okay.
And current quarter also, it should be around 700 to 800 quarters.
Okay. And what about slippages? How much was it in the quarter gone by? How much might it be in the current quarter?
Slippages in quarter 1, it is to the extent of around 1,700, 1,800 crores. There were two reasons. One is because of few slippages in the agriculture sector, mainly because of debt waiver scheme of few of the states. The agriculturists, they have stopped repaying the loans. That has affected us badly. Around 400 crore were the slippages in small advances only. And two, those accounts where we were hopeful of recovery, last moment the entrepreneurs, they could not pay back the money, so slippages has gone up to that level of around 1,700, 1,800 crores. But I think our worst period is over. This is what I can say. Everywhere we are under control. If you have seen our balance sheet, not only NPA, all the slippages, all the provisions, even the growth, if you see, it is mostly in retail credit. Corporate credit, we are not growing. So we have a very well-planned strategy to strengthen our balance sheet. We know our weaknesses and we are addressing those weaknesses.
That's actually very good to hear, Mr. Goyal, that, someone from the PSU banking space saying that the worst perhaps is over. But I just want to get one more figure from you. You said that your gross NPAs will go down from 11,400 to around 11,000 crores. So in terms of an absolute number, what are you targeting from the 6% gross NPAs currently? Where could it go to by the end of the fiscal?
In March, it was 6.27%. Today, it is 6.15%. And quarter 2, it should definitely be below 6%.
Okay. So this 400 crore agreed debt default was in which state or which states largely?
It is all over India. What happens, it is the environment which has affected because of the debt waiver schemes announced by various governments.
No, it was announced by two governments, Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. So I'm asking you if you have a problem over there, or is it a problem wider than just those two states?
Major problem is in Telangana only, and few of the other states where elections are going to be announced very shortly. There also what we have seen, repayment is not to the expected level. That has definitely affected our recovery and the NPA.
Okay. You told Lata about the slippages, sir. Can you tell us what were the fresh restructuring that you saw in this quarter, and what could the restructuring pipeline look like?
The pipeline, if you see, I think our restructuring quarter over quarter, it is coming down. If I remember correctly, in Q1 2013-14, it was around 2,600, which came down to 2,000, then 1,800. This quarter, it was only 800 crores, the restructuring in Q1 2015. Q2 also should be at the same level, not more than 1,000.
Well, we just heard from top government circles that unofficially IDBI has been asked to look at a potential merger with United Bank. Anything brewing for Central Bank? Would you all join hands with somebody?
See, Lata, Central Bank, even though it is a very big bank and it comes amongst that last category of banks, but our balance sheet as of today it is a bit weak. Going forward, maybe 3 quarters, 4 quarters down the line, when the numbers improve, definitely we will look at the opportunities available. Okay. It's not that we are close, but now is not the right time to look on those lines. First, we must consolidate and strengthen our balance sheet.
Fair point. What are your margins in the quarter gone by? NIMs, what will they?
NIM is around 2.87, and if you compare YOY, that means the corresponding quarter of 2013-14, it was 2.68, and every quarter NIM has gone up by few notches. So NIM, I think we are comfortable, and this year our NIM we should close this year at around 3%.
Okay. Okay, you'll close this year at 3%. So that as well is improving for the bank. Can you tell us what your capital requirements are? Will there be any capital raising in the form of a QIP, etc.?
See, our capital requirement based upon the business what we have projected this year is around 2,000 crore. Out of this 2,000 crore, LIC has agreed to give 580 crores. Rather, EGM has already approved the resolution. Government has given the approval. RBI has given the approval. We are just waiting for the money. Maybe within a day or two it will come. Okay. So balance remains around 14,020 crore rupees, which we are expecting from the government. Of course, I know the kitty with the government this year is a bit low. But we are trying. We have already met factory. We have met FM also. Hopefully, we'll get around 1,400-1,500 crore. In case we do not get, then as you are aware, we are already in the market to dispose of our non-core assets, where we are expecting a profit of around 700-800 crores. Similarly, we'll see what are the other avenues to improve our capital.
Which are these non-core assets?
The main is ILFS. Where I am holding around 1 crore share. If I am in a position to sell it even at a price of say around 1,000, I will be able to make profit of around 900 plus crores. So that is the main asset. I have already asked for the bid. Hopefully, within the next 15 to 20 days, we'll have the result.
Oh, okay. We'll await more details on that in the next 1 month or so. But one last question on what the loan growth could look like for Central Bank. I mean, your NII growth has been strong this time at 18%. But going forward for the fiscal, you see an improvement overall on the top line as well?
The top line, our projections this year are very, very reasonable. We are not growing in a big way in the corporate sector. We are mainly concentrating on retail and priority sector. Retail and priority sector, if you see, last year also our growth was around 30% in both segments. This year also we are expecting growth of around 30% in both the segments. But overall credit, because corporate credit we are not growing, bulk advances at base rate we are not interested much. So overall credit growth we have projected 10% only. But definitely there will be growth of around 30%. 2% this side, that side in agriculture, SME as well as retail credit.
Will you raise any infra bonds, Mr. Goyal, now that...
See, we have worked out infra bonds if we raise as of today based upon the infra book we have. I think we are entitled to raise around 3,000 to 4,000 crores, for which we'll get benefit as on 31st March 2015. We are working with two investment banks to see as to how we can go about it. We would like to be first mover in this matter, but let us see.
Reports have it that ICICI is pricing it at 9.15. Yeah, what might you get, you think? I mean, what will you have to pay in terms of interest, you think?
See, this is 7-year bond.
Yes.
If 7-year bonds, I am paying say around 10.25 in other ordinary bonds or infrastructure bonds. In this particular bond, definitely I have to pay around 50-60 basis points more than that. So you can say around 10.50 or 10.75.
All right. That will bring down your cost of funds at all, you think?
Naturally, because I will not be required to maintain CRR, SLR. I will not be required to maintain priority sector lending.
So overall cost of money could come down.
Naturally, I am saving around 1.35% if I go for these bonds. Out of that, even if I pass on around 60 basis points to the bondholders, still I am saving.
But have you tested the waters for appetite?
See what happens, appetite as far as public sector banks are concerned, especially Central Bank of India, 7 years down the line, I think appetite should not be a problem.
Oh,
If we are actually a bit extra to the bondholders,
fair enough.
so selling these bonds should not be a problem at all.
Yeah, I would think at 10.5 I would buy. Thanks a lot. Mr. Goyal, thank you very much for this many-sided information you've given us.